I'd like to share my personal experience with getting evacuated due to a wildfire. So I figured that I would hop on here and let you guys know my account with everything going on in California. And it's kind of reminding me of the situation I was in a little bit, but differently, and just the apocalypticness of everything and stuff. And like I can really remember all of that when I see it on TV or on my phone. It like really like brings back some like flashback type stuff. Like I used to have such good footage of that, but the phone got lost. So anyways, I'm just going to get straight into it. This happened in, I was 18, so 2011. Went to the Kern River. Like all of my friends always were like, Kern River's so dope. Kern River's so dope. And I always wanted to go, but I had never been there. But like literally, everyone just told me how cool it was and shit. So finally, I get invited to go with my friend, his dad's girlfriend, and his grandpa who was in his 90s. So we're driving, and we were going to be gone, I think, for a week. So we drive, and while going there, we hear that there are some fires going on, but that they say that they shouldn't affect where we're going to be. So we already knew that there were some fires going on, like that was known. But still, it was just something that everybody assumed that it could be easily contained. Probably like something similar with this when how it started. I don't really know. So we knew that going into it. We get to our cabin. The cabin is this dope ass cabin that like it had a private thing that went on to like the actual Kern River, and it was like it had just like a little beach type spot and whatever, and it was just like it was really cool, and it was very close to where our cabin was, that we could just walk down this little path and be right there. So we walk down there, and there's the river, and we're at like a part where the river is pretty skinny. It's maybe 15 feet wide, and from where we are we can see like 3 football fields back, going like diagonal. We can see the fire. We can see the fire burning, and it's burning at the top of this hill. So me and my homie, we're we're in swim trunks and stuff. Like we're like messing around in the river, and we both are like, we're looking at the fire, and we're like, all right, if it gets to right there, then we'll go. So sure enough, we're dicking around, whatever, and then we look and we see that it has gotten to that point and a little past. So then we're like, okay, if it gets to that tree, which was maybe like, I don't know, a couple 100 feet or something, we're like, if it gets to that tree right there on the other side, like, and back a little ways, then we'll leave. Like it's not cool. So we continue messing around, and it gets to that tree, and then we're literally standing there, and we both look at each other and we go, well, what's it gonna do, hop the river? No sooner did I say that as soon as I was done, this huge gust of wind comes, and it literally, I watched this happen with my eyes. I swear on everything I love. The fire got blown by the wind, and it crossed the river like diagonally, and it landed on the other side, and it literally just sparked because there was a lot of like dead wood, like kind of like kindling type shit like that was right there. So all of a sudden this fire just fucking jumps like 15 feet and lands right next to us on the other side. And I just remember reaching down and grabbing my shoes, because like literally I'm barefoot, I don't have a shirt on, I just have swim trunks. And the ground, there was rocks and like there was like a whole bunch of stuff, like, and I didn't even care. And I grab my shoes and we just take off. And we take off down the little path and we go up to the thing and we're trying to like, and then we see up there there's people with megaphones and there's fire trucks and there's like all this shit that's going on. And my homie's dad, I'll never forget this. He's like, we're going towards the cabin, he's going towards the fire, and all he has is this little pail, plastic pail that's bright orange and a fucking little shovel that it looks like it literally came from like a kid's toy store. And he's going down there and we like grab him and we're like, that's not gonna do shit. We gotta go. And then like there were people that were like kind of like evacuation and like they were like kind of driving by. And Kern River is an interesting place because it's kind of so small that there's really one road that kind of branches off into the other roads. That's what it seemed like. I want to say it was like Bullhead Road or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it just made it so it was like one lane. So everybody's trying to leave. Like, just imagine the freeway when the freeway's packed and everyone's trying to go somewhere. It's like that, but there was only one lane. So we're just slowly moving. But before that, when my homie's dad, when we get him, we tell him like, "Yo, we gotta go." We hadn't even unpacked from the truck. Hadn't even unpacked. So we just grabbed our suitcases, threw them in the truck. My friend's dad grabs his grandpa like bear hug style because his grandpa didn't understand what was going on like at all, and I completely understand that. And his dad just grabs him and he takes him to the truck and he puts him inside of the truck. And so we start taking off and the sun was red and everything was black in the sky and there were little piles of flames that were just on the ground, like to your right and to your left, just everywhere. And there were houses that were burning and there was smoke everywhere. And like that shit was scary. There were planes in the sky that were coming and dropping that red retardant type stuff. And like I just remember like thinking to myself like, of course, everybody tells me how dope and how cool and how great the Kern River is, and then I go there and it literally I'm getting evacuated. So we get evacuated and we were driving down this path, and we get a little ways out, but not too far, and we go to a hotel. And we go to this, it was like the Kern River Inn or Kern River Hotel, whatever. So we have a room, and then my homie's dad and his girl and grandpa got a room. So we're in this room, and I just remember that I could not get any sleep because when I would go outside to smoke a cigarette, I would look and I could see the fire. And every time, I swear to God, like I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything, every time that I went outside to like smoke like or whatever, the fire would be closer and the fire would be closer. And I think especially because of what happened at the river where we were like, all right, if it gets this close, if it gets this close, I just could not, I had zero chill. I could not chill at all. I got zero sleep. I could not sleep. And just every time I looked out there, the fire would be here. Then all of a sudden it's here. Then all of a sudden it's here. Then all of a sudden it's here. And I couldn't wait for fucking morning to come. And morning came, and you know there's still the planes are flying by and they're dropping the stuff and they're just trying to fight the fires and everything. And we ended up deviating from there, ended up in some place called like Danuba, which was random as hell, and it was like some place in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you know, it just, and then we ended up in Three Rivers, which it just felt like a place where you could get murdered at any point. Like, just turn around and someone's coming and murdering you. That was the vibe I got from it. So, anyways, that was how the whole situation went down. But the evacuation process is fucking scary. I can only imagine how it is for someone who has their whole life. Like, I was there on a vacation, so I had a bag. My whole bag could have been destroyed and it wouldn't have probably been that big of a deal. But for people that like, picture books and like, all these things that you only have so much time and whatever, like, you know I can only imagine how stressful and how like just like crazy that must be. So my heart really truly goes out to the people. Like, I'm over here, I'm in LA, but I'm in a different part where it's not really affecting my area like it is in other areas. So it just really like hurts my heart to see any part of LA up in flames like this. And it's just, I wish that there was more that I could do or something that I could do. But all I can really do is just hope that everybody's okay and safe, and that the smallest amount of fatalities possible happen, if any have to happen. So that was my experience with getting evacuated and the cabin burning to the ground. Because we did find out that that cabin burned to the ground. So yeah, it was, when we got that news, it was definitely a little sobering, I guess you could say. So, anyways, I just figured with everything going on, I would throw my hat into the ring with just giving a first-hand account of what that shit is really like, because I've definitely gotten some like flashback type shit. So, anyways, I hope you guys have had a nice weekend, and go birds.